It's Saturday the 16th of September and welcome to the 6 o'clock news. And in the news this week, the countdown is on for what is the area's largest sporting event, but one also that causes disruption for local residents and so gets mixed local reactions. The Weymouth 70.3 Ironman starts tomorrow at 7:15 a.m. on Preston Beach Road by the Sea Life Centre. The competition starts with a sea swim, then moves on to a 56-mile cycle section and finishes with a 13.1-mile run. Last year's event attracted over 2,800 athletes and it can expect similar numbers this year. 70,000 letters have been sent out to residents across the area advising them that they may be affected and telling them about closures and diversions. So there are various road closures and diversions needed for the event tomorrow, and before getting in the car around Weymouth tomorrow it would be a good idea to check for travel advice. Now you can go online with Google and you can search for Weymouth Ironman travel advice and you'll get to some specific pages put up by Dorset Council that will advise you on the closures that are in place at various times during the day tomorrow. Now, businesses are being urged to plan for new fire safety legislation. As Business Safety Week comes to an end, it's been running from the 11th until tomorrow, the 17th of September. The campaign by the National Fire Chiefs Council helps businesses understand their fire safety responsibilities and therefore help them to remain safe, legal and compliant. Many fires in the workplace are preventable and some businesses never recover after such an incident. Helping businesses to manage their fire risks and hazards and potentially save lives and safeguard themselves against financial and commercial loss is of key importance to the Fire and Rescue Service. Now, from the 1st of October, new fire safety legislation comes into effect. This will mean that many businesses and building owners need to check if and how this affects them to ensure that they comply with the regulations. Now, the main changes are that all businesses will need to record a fire risk assessment and fire safety arrangements in full, regardless of the number of employees and the size or type of the business. There are increased requirements for cooperation and coordination between responsible persons in multi-occupied buildings or those where the occupier and owner are not the same person. And in residential buildings with two or more domestic premises, residents must be provided with information on the risks from fire and fire safety measures provided to keep them safe. Now, Group Manager Graham Cooley from the Dorset Wilts Fire and Rescue Service fire safety team said it's essential that businesses take the time to look at the new fire safety regulations and ensure that their fire risk assessment is properly recorded. All you need to do to keep up to date is visit www.dwfire.org.uk/business-fire-safety, and we'll return to that story again in a couple of weeks' time to remind you. Now, Dorset Police has celebrated the passing out of its new student officers who were recruited as part of the National Uplift programme. The officers joined in March this year and have since completed their initial classroom-based training. To celebrate their achievements, the group came together at a special end-of-course ceremony in Poole this Thursday, joined by their family and friends. The 55 new student officers, which was the largest intake in Dorset Police's history, will now move on to the next phase of their training on the streets of Dorset, where they will continue to learn and develop alongside a tutor. Chief Constable Amanda Pearson said it's always such a pleasure to attend these special ceremonies and to celebrate all that our student officers have achieved and learned over the last few months. I met our student officers on the first day they arrived and it's fantastic to see how they have flourished thanks to their commitment and enthusiasm and the dedication of our training team. Now, as part of the government's Police Uplift programme, Dorset Police recruited 174 new police officers, 8 officers above the allocation set by the government. It was the biggest recruitment drive in the force's history and was in addition to the normal annual officer recruitment required to replace colleagues who resign, retire or leave the force. Now, Dorset Wildlife Trust has been awarded a share of £14.5 million of grant by Natural England as part of the government's commitment to reduce species at risk of extinction in the UK. The grant will help recover some of Dorset's most rare and threatened species, from the sand lizard and lapwing to the great crested newt, greater horseshoe bat and the ladybird spider. The Dorset Species Recovery Programme will implement a series of practical interventions to create and improve habitat for a set of 10 specially selected priority species across 11 Dorset Wildlife Trust nature reserves in Dorset. The priority species are threatened or near threatened and have a need for urgent action if they are to survive. The 10 species are the pillwort, marsh club moss, sand lizard, heath tiger beetle, lapwing, dingy mocker, great crested newt, ladybird spider, fly orchid and greater horseshoe bat. The programme will benefit all wildlife across Dorset. Across heathland reserves, the project will involve creating dry heathland scrapes to enable the sand lizard to create a burrow in which to lay its eggs, and wet scrapes for pillwort and marsh club moss to establish itself. Over in West Dorset, ponds will be created and restored at Kingham and Powstock Common to benefit the great crested newt, and in the north of Dorset, woodland management will aim to provide more habitat for the fly orchid. In the first ever community-led Dorset COP, uniting the local community in urgent action to combat climate change, was held last Saturday, the 9th September, at the historic Corn Exchange building in Dorchester. The carbon neutral event hosted a variety of workshops and keynote speakers, welcoming visitors from across the county. Zero Carbon Dorset, Dorset Climate Action Network, the Sustainable Dorset, three of Dorset's leading climate action groups came together to organise this pioneering event, hoping to raise awareness of the need and desire to act locally in a way that puts people at the heart of the climate crisis on a local level. A series of talks, workshops, short talks, panel discussions and breakout workshops for organisations to collaborate took place throughout the day, with keynote speakers including Laura Baldwin, environmental campaigner and former Olympian, who opened the event, and also founder of Future Earth, Catherine Allison, and many others. The council are telling the parents and carers of Dorset that some children may be eligible to receive a free daily lunch at school, potentially saving families up to £450 a year per child. With the cost of living affecting many people, Dorset Council is reminding families under financial pressure to find out if their child qualifies for the initiative. As well as receiving a healthy meal every school day, a child's school will receive extra government funding called the Pupil Premium towards more teaching staff, tuition or activities. This could benefit between 1,035 and 1,455 per pupil per year. Dorset children who receive the free school meals can also take part in free activities during the summer, Christmas and Easter holidays. Holiday food vouchers will also be provided for eligible pupils until at least March 2024. Now, Dorset Council has a page on this on their website and a confidential checker, so parents and carers can quickly see if they qualify. Schools do not see any of the financial information about any of the families that apply, so it is completely confidential. Now, for more information and to find that confidential checker, do a search in Google for Dorset Free School Meals. Dorset Free School Meals. Now, Dorset Police has today started to share live real-time updates on hundreds of incidents from 3 o'clock today for the next 12 hours. Every contact received into the force via 999 and 101 over the 12-hour period will be summarised, and they will share that information, obviously redacting personal details. The event will highlight the significant demands that the force faces on a daily basis, giving the public an idea of the variety and volume of calls for assistance received. Members of the public can keep up to date with what's happening on X, well, that's what we used to know as Twitter, by following @Dorset Police and keeping an eye out for the #ControlRoomLive hashtag. In the same equivalent 12-hour period last year, the force dealt with 425 calls, 280 of these through the emergency 999 line and 145 via the 101 non-emergency number. This resulted in the force creating 315 incidents and recording 80 crimes. In the last few weeks, the force has also been busier than ever before, receiving 13,082 calls to 999 in August 2023 alone, an increase of 15% versus the same period last year. Now, staying with Dorset Police, police officers are investigating a single vehicle collision on Portland excuse me, and are appealing for witnesses or anyone with relevant dashcam footage to come forward. The incident on Portland Bridge Road was reported to Dorset Police at approximately 6 p.m. last Sunday, the 10th of September, and involved a black Audi TT Quattro. No injuries were reported. A 26-year-old local man was arrested on suspicion of driving offences. He has been released under investigation. Police Constable Joseph Henderson said, "We are carrying out inquiries to establish the circumstances of this collision, and I'm keen to hear from anyone who witnessed the incident or the manner of driving of the vehicle. I'd also like to speak to anyone who was driving along the road at the time with dashcam footage." Staying with Dorset Police, police officers investigating criminal damage in Weymouth are appealing for anyone with information to come forward. It was reported to Dorset Police that a group of young people was damaging parked vehicles in Wupperton Street between 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. on Monday the 11th of September. The members of the group were described as male and female, aged roughly between 13 years and in their early 20s. They jumped on multiple vehicles, kicked wing mirrors and threw glass bottles at windscreens. The group was then seen travelling from Wupperton Street to Park Street and then possibly towards the area of Westham Bridge. And finally, from Dorset Police this week, police officers investigating an alleged assault outside a pub in Weymouth Town Centre are asking for witnesses to come forward. Dorset Police received a report at approximately 10:40 a.m. On Friday, that's the 15th of September, that a woman had been assaulted outside the William Henry pub in Frederick Place. The victim, a local woman aged in her 20s, is receiving appropriate support from officers. Following inquiries, a 42-year-old man from Weymouth has been arrested on suspicion of assault. Now, if you can help with any of these incidents from Dorset Police this week, do contact them on 101, or if you wish to pass on information anonymously, you can do this via the Crime Stoppers charity by calling 0800 555 111. Now, Olympic champion and health and wellbeing advocate Sally Gunnell OBE has announced that she will be supporting national cancer charity Cancer Support UK. Sally Gunnell's work with Cancer Support UK will focus on helping the charity achieve its mission to help those impacted by cancer in the workplace. Sally says, "Since my introduction to the excellent work being carried out by Cancer Support UK, I have been impressed by the quality of the service provided, and I am now acutely aware of the huge need for people affected by cancer to receive more emotional support. I am therefore delighted to announce my involvement with this important charity. I am looking forward to using my knowledge, passion and energy to ensure that Cancer Support UK's wonderful vision is achieved." Now, Sally's passion for mental health and emotional wellbeing is completely aligned with Cancer Support UK's work to support people living with and beyond cancer. A group of young people have been encouraged back into learning, and thanks to a scheme which is run by the local alliance groups, Weymouth College successfully hosted the Summer Transition Programme with the participation of 51 young people at risk of NEET, that's N-E-E-T. And if you don't know what that means not in education, employment or training. Many of these students face significant anxiety and had experienced extended periods out of education. This 4-week programme was made possible thanks to local alliance group funded by Dorset Council, designed to fund projects aimed at increasing belonging and inclusion for young people and children in the local area. The aim of the programme was to actively engage the young participants in activities that would enhance their resilience, boost their self-confidence and alleviate anxiety. Additionally, the programme aimed to help students understand how to access support before starting college, while gaining a better understanding of the college itself. Students were given the option to select from a range of activities both on and off-site, and the activities included crazy golf, boxing, a trip to Thorncombe Woods, arts and crafts, pizza making, a fashion show, and a sensory awareness day. A dedicated team of staff and volunteers provided one-to-one support to students throughout the programme. Now, the Rotary Club of Dorchester have been out in force today in Dorchester and will be out again on Wednesday between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m, making a street collection to provide aid for those affected by the disaster in Morocco. On Friday the 8th of September, local time, 11 p.m. local time, a 6.8 magnitude earthquake struck, killing over 2,800 and leaving around 2,500 people injured and thousands displaced from their homes. Club President David Harris said all funds raised by the Casterbridge Rotary Club will be donated to Shelterbox. This is a charity set up in 2000 by a Rotarian, and so we know its credentials. Dave continued, money donated will help Shelterbox provide items such as their boxes which contain everything a family needs to rebuild their lives. A shelter, blankets, water purification system, cooking equipment and tools for rebuilding and planting. Now, for more information on that, and if you wish to make a donation, you can contact Dave on the following email: casterbridgerotary@icloud.com. That's casterbridgerotary@icloud.com. Or you can call him on 07977 918130. That's 07977 918130. Now, the British archaeology programme, the Time Team, has begun a dig in Dorset. And anyone that knows me will know that I'm very keen on Time Team. It's one of those things I love to watch. The team has begun a dig investigating an Iron Age complex near Corfe Castle. Time Team, which ran on Channel 4 for 20 years, between 1994 and 2014, returned last year, but this time on YouTube. Now supported by fans financially through the Patreon platform. The programme airs on YouTube, and the programme still showcases archaeological digs with a mix of old and new members of the team. The site at Corfe Castle was put forward by Time Team's own Dr. Derek Pittman and Dr. Lawrence Shaw. Working together with Harry Manley of Bournemouth University, a single test trench uncovered over 1,000 years of history, bridging the transition from the Iron Age into Roman Britain. During the Iron Age, some 2,000 years ago, the area was home to the Durotrides, I probably said that wrong, tribe, and this site offers excellent opportunities to investigate how they lived and died. Dr. Derek Pittman says, as a Dorset boy, I'm thrilled to welcome Time Team to my turf for what looks to be an incredible weekend. I've honestly never seen so much archaeology in a single trench before, and we think this is just the tip of something much bigger. We're in for a treat. Now, the excavation coincides with the 30th anniversary of filming of Time Team's first episode back in 1993, which aired the following year in 1994. Now, the completed episode will premiere worldwide on YouTube at some future date, so you'll have to watch the space for this. And if you want to help finance the making of Time Team, if that's something that interests you, if you search for Time Team Digital, you'll find a link to Patreon, and you can make a donation to help finance the making of the programmes. Now, Great Western Railway, or GWR, has staged its latest train naming ceremony in Paignton for best-selling author Agatha Christie. Cast of her iconic murder mystery play The Mousetrap joined guests at Paignton Station. Great Western Railway has named a train after best-selling author and Great Western Agatha Christie. The cast of The Mousetrap, which continues its national 70th anniversary tour at Torquay's Princess Theatre from this weekend until... Sorry, that was earlier in the week, until today, the 16th of September, joined guests for a special ceremony at Paignton Station. Agatha Christie was nominated for the train naming by the public and GWR colleagues as part of GWR's Great Westerners campaign, recognising past and present heroes from across the network. And the train was named by Agatha Christie's grandson Matthew Pritchard before departing on the 1410 service to London Paddington. Also in attendance was GWR trained manager Rob Smith and his 103-year-old grandmother, Joan Knott, a world-renowned expert on all things Agatha Christie. And you can see Joan there in the picture. And finally, in our headlines tonight, Weymouth Lions Club are looking for volunteers for this year's Weymouth Beach Motocross. Weymouth Beach Motocross will run on Sunday the 15th of October, and if you can spare even a few hours, your support will be appreciated and they would love to hear from you. Now, volunteering opportunities are from 8 o'clock to 10:30 to help with the setup, stewarding and programme sales from 10:30 until 4 o'clock approximately, and then from 4 o'clock to 5:30 helping with the clear up. Refreshments have already been arranged from one of the caterers, so you'll be well looked after if you are a volunteer there on the Sunday. Now, if you'd like to get involved or want more information on volunteering, contact Ryan Hope, who's the activities chairman at Weymouth and Portland Lions Club, and you can contact Ryan on 07795 246 080. That's 07795 246 080, or by email weymouthbeachmotocross@outlook.com. weymouthbeachmotocross@outlook.com. And that's the end of the headlines tonight. Now, this weekend sees the 10th anniversary, or the 10th year, of Bart's Bash taking place today and tomorrow around the world. And I actually paid Bart's Bash a visit this afternoon, and may show some film of that that I filmed today next week. Now, since 2014, Bart's Bash has given the sailing community an opportunity to unite and remember Andrew Simpson, or Andrew Bart Simpson as he's become known. A double Olympic champion who tragically lost his life whilst training for the America's Cup in 2013. Andrew was a talented sailor who firmly believed in the benefits that participation in sport can bring to young people. The Andrew Simpson Foundation, set up in his name, now exists to continue his vision and to bring change for thousands of young people. By taking part in Bart's Bash, sailors support young people from all backgrounds, enabling them to experience sailing, gain qualifications and develop key life skills. Now, we're going to see two videos tonight. One is a thank you video from the 2021 Bart's Bash, and the reason I'm showing that is it does actually show what Bart's Bash is about and the size and scope of it, because it literally is worldwide, and it'll give an indication of how many people get involved. And then we're going to have a local story about youngsters who have benefited from the Andrew Simpson Foundation. So first of all, a short video on Bart's Bash itself, and a thank you from the 2021 Bart's Bash. So there you go, that's a bit about what Bart's Bash is about and the size of it. And of course the Andrew Simpson Foundation is, its headquarters is based here at Portland at the Weymouth and Portland National Sailing Academy, with sailing centres across the UK and activities I think these days worldwide as well. Now we're going to hear from local school Bingham Valley Primary, who attend a weekly club at the Andrew Simpson Centre on Portland, and hear about how it has benefited their young people.
We live here by the seaside, and we have many children in our school who haven't been able to access swimming and outdoor activities. This was prevalent during COVID and the pandemic.
We're going to sail in this bit, this is called the lagoon.
We had children who needed something a little bit different.
Amazing! I think I'm ready.
We're going to get the boats in the water.
It was a huge success from day one.
You could start to see a real difference with their confidence by learning these new skills that they were picking up.
And it took them out of their comfort zone and provided them with a challenge on a weekly basis, where in the beginning they were really afraid to take risks. And that moved on to creating new friendships. Some of the parents were quite nervous in the beginning, particularly as their children weren't water confident, and in fact some of the children couldn't swim.
She used to be terrified of water, and now she can actually go in water now and not feel threatened.
My legs are still cold and they're in there.
Because like I say, I'm a single parent as well, so you know, to be there and see my daughter grow, and even more so thanks to the sailing, and helped her in so many ways. I can't be more appreciative.
Look, I love it. I just love it. When coming here with the teachers are over, I'm going to probably ask my dad if he can pay me to come here a couple of days.
Do you do extra levels from this as well? Because after this, it's something that I could look forward to Bonnie growing even more so. Yeah.
Parents have had to trust us a lot that if we're sending their children out in a boat, that they'll be safe. And I think that has built quite a good relationship between school and families, that we're working together for the best for these children in whatever we can do.
Because her first session, she came home and she was so excited to tell me all about it. So I could tell this is going to be really good for her. Good to sort of push them beyond their boundaries a little bit, isn't it? So I think absolutely go for it. It's been brilliant.
My family was pretty proud and really excited for me when I first went. I'm normally really scared to do stuff, and then when I came here, I'm pretty brave. It's fun, scary, and amazing.
But these children who had the confidence to go out in a boat sailing suddenly thought, well, if I can do that, then I can actually have a go at something else that you're asking me to do. It's important for these children to know that there's things outside in the wider world that perhaps they haven't experienced before. They just applied that confidence to other areas, and you could see academically that they were giving things their best, they were approaching things slightly differently, just with a bit more self-assurance really, that they could have a go.
So there we go, that's Bingham Valley Primary, showing youngsters benefiting from the sailing experience offered by the Andrew Simpson Foundation. Now, if you would like to offer some support to the Andrew Simpson Foundation, or would like to get more involved, you can pop along to their website at www.andrewsimpsonfoundation.org, www.andrewsimpsonfoundation.org. And I can tell you some really fantastic work goes on with Andrew Simpson Foundation and lots of other organisations that are based at the Weymouth and Portland National Sailing Academy, and we are so lucky to have that facility on our doorstep here in Weymouth and Portland. Now we get to that time in the programme where we go over to our regular contributor Andrew Wright for this week's film review and preview.
Welcome to White Rouge's TV film review and preview. I'm Andrew Wright. This weekend, the third Kenneth Branagh Poirot film, A Haunting in Venice, releases in cinemas. The film is based on the 1969 Agatha Christie novel Halloween Party and revolves around Hercule Poirot, who is currently retired in Venice, only for him to have to solve the murder of a guest at a séance he attends. The film also stars actors Jamie Dornan, Tina Fey and Michelle Yeoh. When the trailer was released, I praised the film's gothic horror element. The film is in cinemas this weekend and currently has over 80% positive reviews from critics who praise the film's visuals and cast and label the film a decent Halloween film. I heard a review about it this morning when I'm recording this, and it was very positive, so that's a good sign. This week, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse released on home video. The film, a sequel to 2018's Into the Spider-Verse, stars Shameik Moore, Haley Steinfeld and Oscar Isaac. The film revolves around Miles Morales going on an adventure across the multiverse with Gwen Stacy, but comes into conflict with a team of spider people known as the Spider Society, led by Miguel O'Hara, aka Spider-Man 2099. Now, watching this film on home video is the first opportunity I've had to watch the film, and I was underwhelmed and disappointed. I did like the multiverse cameos, as well as Oscar Isaac's performance and the first fight sequence between Miles and the villain Spot for its comedic elements, but I was shocked by how disjointed the script was, and as it seemed more concerned with Easter eggs and sequel setup than telling a connected story. I gave the film 3 stars out of 5. A sequel is currently in production, but was removed from its release date due to the current actors' strike preventing their lines from being recorded. This week, the newest Disney Pixar film, Elemental, released on Disney+. Set in a world inhabited by anthropomorphic forces of nature, the film revolves around a fire element and a water element who fall in love when they meet during a plumbing accident. The film received modest reviews from critics, but was a surprise box office rebound success after a disappointing opening weekend. I haven't had a chance to view the film on Disney Plus yet, but I will make sure to include a review on the home video release in October, provided I don't watch it beforehand. That's all I have for this week, but be sure to check back next week where I will preview Expendables 4 and review the home video release of The Flash movie. Now back to Gary in the studio.
Thank you very much there, Andrew, and we'll be back with Andrew next week. And whilst staying on movies, Warner Brothers have released a trailer for a new movie that will be out in cinemas on the 20th of December. It's called Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Now, director James Wan and Aquaman himself, Jason Momoa, along with Patrick Wilson, Amber Heard, Yahi Abu Mateen and Nicole Kidman, return in the sequel to the highest grossing DC film of all time, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Having failed to defeat Aquaman the first time, Black Manta, still driven by the need to avenge his father's death, will stop at nothing to take Aquaman down once and for all. This time Black Manta is more formidable than ever before, wielding the power of the mythic Black Trident, which unleashes an ancient and malevolent force. To defeat him, Aquaman will turn to his imprisoned brother Aurum, the former king of Atlantis, to forge an unlikely alliance. Together they must set aside their differences in order to protect their kingdom and save Aquaman's family and the world from irreversible destruction. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom is set to open in theatres in cinemas internationally, beginning 20th of December. It's going to be distributed worldwide by Warner Brothers Pictures, and here is a taster for you now.
4 years ago, I was basically unemployed. A wanderer with no home. But now, I'm a husband and a father. And I wouldn't have it any other way. I don't know how you did it, Pops. My job was a little less stressful than yours. Oh yeah, I finally got a job. I'm the king of Atlantis. 500 million people from every known species in the sea call this place home. But that doesn't mean they all like me.
I'm gonna kill Aquaman and destroy everything he holds dear. I'm gonna murder his family and burn his kingdom to ash.
He must be stopped, or a global meltdown is imminent.
I think I know someone I might be able to help us. Ooh, you look rough. Good job, little brother. High five.
Do not call me brother. I cannot believe you let this happen.
Yeah, well, I hate this job.
True king builds bridges, right?
True king builds bridges.
We need to find Manta.
He's different now. He's stronger than before.
It's the Black Trident. During King Atlan's time, there were 7 kingdoms. trident was a curse upon them all.
The Trident's dark magic is spreading.
He means to end the bloodline.
I don't know what lies ahead, but we can't leave our children in a world without hope.
You're not as bad at this as you think. If you lead, the Seven Kingdoms will follow.
There we go, that's Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom from Warner Brother Pictures and in cinemas from the 20th of December in time for Christmas. Now it's that time of the programme where we go over to the Met Office and see what the national weather has in store for us this weekend and the week ahead. And this week we are joined by Jonathan Vaultry.
Hello there. It is shaping up to be a weekend of contrasts across the UK, and we've already seen that throughout Saturday morning. Quite a dry start for parts of South East England and northwestern areas of Scotland and Northern Ireland. But in between, there's been this lingering rain for southern Scotland, Northern England, and also some heavy pulses that have pushed across southwest England and Wales as well. Both those two areas tending to fade off a touch as we head throughout the rest of today, but still a few sharp areas to watch out for in the southwest, I think. Quite a lot of cloud mixed in with all of that as well, but again for the northwest and the southeast, that's where we'll see the best of the sunshine throughout the afternoon. Still though, quite a contrast in terms of how that's going to feel, and it is this lingering area of cloud that's acting as a boundary line with these frontal systems. To the south of that area of low pressure, bringing in some milder and more humid air, but to the north, a cooler air mass wrapping around an area of high pressure. So for parts of Scotland, Northern Ireland, temperatures generally around average for the time of year, but around mid-teens. If you are in the sunshine, should feel a relatively pleasant autumnal day, but areas that are stuck underneath that cloud throughout much of the afternoon, southern Scotland, Northern England, will feel relatively gloomy and cool. But to the south, where we're feeling in that milder and more humid air, temperatures climbing noticeably above average for the time of year, close towards 28 degrees Celsius in parts of London, where we should be more around 19 or 20 degrees at this time of the year. Generally, as we head into the evening, this mild and humid air is going to win out and start pushing its way further northwards across other areas of the UK. Still accompanied in that some showers initially across the southwest, spreading over towards Northern Ireland as we head into the early hours of Sunday. Some late sunshine for the southeast, but the cloud will build here as well overnight as well. And it's generally then the southern 2/3 of the UK that will hold on to that mild theme, generally mid, particularly high teens across southern areas of England. But a contrast to the north of Scotland, where we hold on to that cooler air mass and the clearer skies throughout the night. Temperatures widely dropping down to 2 to 5 degrees Celsius, maybe some air frost in sheltered rural glens as well. So quite a chilly start to Sunday morning here, but will also be the brightest one. The cloud, though, continuing to steadily progress its way northwards, eventually reaching probably most areas apart from the Northern Isles during the day. It is then into the afternoon where we start to see some heavy showery outbreaks of rain push its way in across southern England and Wales. These could provide some localised disruption and flooding in places, so it is worth watching out for this as you head throughout the day. Generally areas from Hampshire westwards seeing the worst of the conditions, but even amongst all of that, not all areas will see the particularly persistent and heavy rain, but where it does fall, some areas could see over half a month's worth of rain falling in just a few hours. So really is worth keeping up to date with the forecast throughout Sunday here. Generally a good amount of cloud now pushing its way into southeast England, so that's going to hold temperatures back throughout Sunday compared to where we do see them on Saturday, more around 22 degrees Celsius. But now that warmer and humid air is pushing its way steadily northwards, Northern Ireland, central Scotland could see those temperatures climb up by a degree or so compared to Saturday. But again, got to counterbalance that with the cloud and rain that is going to be spreading its way in. Into the evening again, continuing to see a northward progression of those showers and that warmer, humid theme. So pushing across Wales, eventually spreading into Northern Ireland and Northern England. This northern area of rain also much more widely across areas of Scotland as we head into the latter part of Sunday as well. Will end up being quite a warm night for the vast majority of us now that that humid and cloudy theme is pretty much across all areas of the UK. It's not going to last forever though, because as we head into Monday, we will see us change in our wind direction more towards westerlies, and that's going to start feeding in some fresher conditions once again, but accompanied by that, a good number of showers and prolonged areas of rain. Again, could see some thunderstorms in the mixture as well. So it is looking to stay relatively unsettled as we head towards the new working week. We will, of course, provide updates on all of that, so do stay tuned for those. You can find those regular updates across our social media channels as well, so make sure you're following us there, and we'll be back with you for your next broadcast very soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much there, Jonathan. And now to see what the local weather down on the south coast has in store for us this week. Well, look, the rain has returned. Sunny spells, much cooler. Lots of rain, particularly on Monday and Wednesday by the looks of it. So if you're going out, make sure you've got a coat with you, is the message for this coming week. Now, moving to our What's On session. What have we got coming up for you locally if you're looking for something to do? So first of all, looking at Weymouth Pavilion. 21st of September, Prince the Ultimate Experience. 22nd of September, that'll be the Day Autumn Tour. 23rd of September, the Johnny Cash Roadshow. 1st of October, a sitcom-style comedy, Ground Rules. And now this comes from the creator of TV's Rising Damp and Duty Free. And it's a sitcom-style play, comedy, live on the stage there. 3rd to the 4th of October, Tales from Acorn Wood. I think that's for the youngsters. 5th of October, Fascinating Ada, 40th anniversary show. And 6th of October, ABBA Mania. Now, more information on those and lots of other things coming up at Weymouth Pavilion. Pop along to their website at weymouthpavilion.com. If you want tickets to any of their shows, then the box office, if you don't want to do it online, is 01305 783 225. That's 01305 783 225. Looking at the Knowth Fort next. 24th of September, next weekend, Pause for Thought. My teeth struggle with that one. Pause for Thought. Dog show and dog featured events at the fort there. 1st of October, Family Science Festival. 7th to 8th of October, Pirate Weekend. 8th of October, Artillery Display. And the 21st to the 29th of October, Halloween Fun at the fort. Information on those and other events at the fort at www.knowthfort.org.uk. Now, the latest programme from ArtsReach is published with events all over Dorset, at venues all over Dorset in the rural communities, some in our area of the county, and just highlighting a few of those. 7th of October, Firelight Trio at Buckland Newton. 8th of October, Desert Island Flicks, Winfrith Village. 13th of October, Canterbury Tales, Piddle Trentide Memorial Hall. 20th of October, a pocket opera at Portersham Village Hall. And 25th of October, Stories in the Dust at Royal Manor Theatre on Portland. Now, more information on those and literally loads and loads and loads of others across the whole of Dorset, with a wide range of stuff of different styles and different forms, and for adults and for children. Pop along to the ArtsReach website, where you can also book tickets. www.artsreach.co.uk. Now, there will be a talk by Antiques Roadshow regular Paul Atterbury at the Dorset and Somerset History Society Open Day at St Aldham's Church in Spa Road on Saturday the 30th of September. Paul's talk will be on life in Victoria, Britain. Now, Victorian Britain, the day starts at 10 a.m. and runs to 4 p.m. There will be free tea, coffee and biscuits provided. Now, there's no timings or any other detail available yet, and I have looked on the Dorset and Somerset History Society website. It just says it's an open day with a talk. It doesn't say what time the talk is. I will try and get more details during this week, so I can give you some specific timings in next week's programme. But if you want any more information at the current time, then do give John Yallop a call on 01305 776 008. That's 01305 776 008. Church services tomorrow in White Regis area and Lane House. 9:30 at All Saints Church, 11 o'clock at St Edmund's Church. Now we're almost at the end of today's programme, and just to remind you that our quiz, our regular weekly live quiz, available for all the community and family friendly, free of charge of course, even better, is at 7:30 tonight in 3/4 hours time. The feed will go up about 7:15, and you are most welcome to join us. And if there's nothing on TV that you want to watch or you enjoy a good quiz, we will be there as ever for our Saturday night quiz. Well, that brings us to the end of this week's programme. If you've got any news, events for us, or anything coming up, do drop us a line during the week at news@whiteregis.tv. We'd love to hear from you so that we can share stuff with other people across White Regis, Weymouth and Portland, South Dorset and beyond in next week's programme. So until then, enjoy the rest of your weekend. I will be back with you next Saturday at 6 p.m. Good night.